Look at the roof of your car. Your phone is at 100% battery, something that looks like the fin of a shark rising out of the water. You dig around for your old wired earphones, ready to plug them into the phone, but look down at the bottom edge of your $1,000 smartphone. There is nothing there. The familiar round hole has completely vanished. So why was one of the most convenient, most durable things in the history of technology suddenly killed? Tech companies said it was for the future, for more space, for bigger batteries and better cameras, but the truth is, they lied to us. Welcome to Everyday Things Explained. Today, we are going to decode the mystery behind the death of the 3.5mm headphone jack. The miracle of an open standard. Before it was treated as a space thief, the headphone jack was once an astonishingly durable design. Its ancestor appeared in the late 19th century, inside telephone switchboards. Later, the plug was miniaturized into the 3.5mm version, and from there, it appeared everywhere. Radios, cassette players, CD players, MP3 players, laptops, game consoles, and phones. The 3.5mm jack became a common language of sound. You did not need to read a manual. You only had to see that tiny hole, and you knew exactly what to do. The most special thing was this: it belonged to no one. A cheap pair of earphones could still work on a premium device. No account, no app, no update, no battery, no ecosystem lock. Just an audio signal passing through a wire. The lie called space. Then the modern smartphone appeared. Inside it was a war for space. Every millimeter became precious. Users wanted longer battery life, better cameras, louder speakers, larger screens, but the body still had to stay thin. To engineers, the headphone jack was not just a hole. It was a physical component with depth, occupied space, and made water resistance more complicated. So when Apple removed the headphone jack from the iPhone 7 in 2016, the technical explanation did not sound unreasonable. Apple called it a courageous decision. They said the future of audio was wireless. And to be fair, they were not completely wrong. Removing the jack could create more space and help make the phone body more sealed. But here is the important question. If the headphone jack was such a major problem, why could many other companies still make premium phones with strong water resistance while keeping this port? That shows one thing. Technically, keeping the headphone jack was still possible. The real question was not only, can they keep it? But, do they still want to keep it? The evidence was right inside a Samsung. To answer that question, look at Apple's biggest rival at the time, Samsung. In the same year, 2016, Samsung launched the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. These were premium flagship phones with large batteries, strong cameras, glass and metal designs, and IP68 water resistance. But on the bottom edge of the phone, the headphone jack was still there. This does not mean Samsung was better than Apple. It only proves one important thing. Technically, companies could still keep the headphone port if they truly wanted to. The 3.5mm jack was not impossible in smartphone design. It was a trade-off. You could remove it to gain more space. But you could also keep it if you designed the phone in another way. And this is where the story becomes interesting. When Apple talked about the wireless future, some competitors mocked them at first. Samsung once teased iPhone users for having to use a dongle. Google also proudly said the first Pixel still had a headphone jack. But only a few years later, those same competitors also began removing the headphone jack from their premium phones. Why? Because they realized Apple had not merely removed a port, Apple had opened a new market. When a free port became a new market, The most interesting thing about 2016 was not only what Apple removed, it was what Apple introduced almost at the same time: AirPods. When the iPhone no longer had a headphone jack, Apple offered a new solution: compact wireless earbuds that connected automatically and lived inside their own charging case. They were convenient. They were beautiful. They felt modern. But more importantly, they were an entirely new product to sell. Before, if a phone had a 3.5mm jack, you could use earphones from any brand. The phone company earned nothing extra if you bought third-party headphones. But when that port disappeared, your choices changed. You used a tiny dongle, easy to forget, easy to lose. Or you bought Bluetooth headphones, and Bluetooth headphones are not just headphones. They have batteries, chips, charging cases, software, special features, and reasons for you to upgrade after a few years. In other words, a free port had turned into a giant accessory market. Galaxy Buds, Pixel Buds, AirPods, and countless similar products appeared one after another. A familiar business strategy began to reveal itself. Create the problem, then sell the solution. The price of future convenience. To be fair, wireless earbuds are very convenient. No tangled wires, fast connection, noise cancellation, a compact charging case. But the price we pay is not only money. We traded a device that needed no battery for one that must be charged. We traded something that could sit in a drawer for years and still work for something with a battery that will degrade. We traded near universal compatibility for conditional convenience. In theory, Bluetooth is a common standard. But in reality, every company wants its earbuds to work best with its own phone. Little by little, you step deeper into the ecosystem, and once you are inside, leaving becomes harder. So when the 3.5mm jack disappeared, we did not only lose a port, we lost part of universal compatibility. The next time your wireless earbuds run out of battery and you see your old wired earphones lying in a drawer, remember this: they are not merely outdated objects. They are traces of a technological age that used to be simpler, more open, and less eager to demand your loyalty. And if you think this story only happened to headphones, look at the thing that used to sit inside the phone box by default, but today is also slowly disappearing: the charger. But that is a story for another episode. Thank you for watching Everyday Things Explained.